You hear bagpipes?
And you think Scotland, right?
Right.
Get ready for a deep dive. That might just flip the scripts.
Yeah.
Today we're exploring the often unsung world of Irish bagpipes,
Okay.
their ancient roots,
Surprising versatility.
and enduring presence in Irish identity.
It's fascinating how we often pigeonhole cultural elements without realizing their full complex history.
Yeah.
And the Irish war pipes, as we'll discover, are a prime example of that.
Okay.
Let's unpack this.
We've got a stack of articles here from Irish Piping,
Right.
a website dedicated to, as you might guess, all things Irish piping,
On a mission.
to uncover the story these instruments tell.
A story that goes back thousands of years.
You're in for a treat.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the first assumption we need to dismantle is the idea that bagpipes are primarily Scottish.
Okay.
Our source material dives right into this, challenging that very notion.
Hit me with it.
What's the Irish connection?
Archaeological evidence tells a compelling story. In Charleston County, Wicklow, pipes were unearthed dating back to 2137-1909 BC.
Wow.
Imagine unearthing an instrument over 4,000 years old. That's evidence that the Irish bagpipe tradition predates their association with Scotland.
Wow. Those pipes probably have some stories to tell.
But it's not just about ancient artifacts, right?
Absolutely not. Even early Irish literature reinforces this deep-rooted connection.
Okay.
We're talking 7th century accounts that mention King Conaire the Great
Okay.
being entertained by 9 pipers,
Wow.
said to be the best pipe players in the whole world, and they hailed from the fairy hills of Bregia.
Fairy hills.
Now that's an image.
It makes you realize how deeply woven these instruments were into the fabric of Irish storytelling.
Right.
But let's not get stuck in the mists of time just yet.
These instruments weren't just for royalty and mythical beings, were they?
Not at all. And that's what gets really interesting.
Okay.
We tend to associate the bagpipes with war and conflict.
Which makes sense. It's a powerful, stirring sound.
Right.
But in Ireland, they were also present in everyday life.
Really?
Think religious services, social gatherings, funerals, even sporting events like hurling.
That's wild.
That's wild. The same instrument that could rally troops was also soundtracking a community celebration.
It speaks to the versatility of the instrument, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And perhaps even more importantly, it highlights how integral bagpipes were to the fabric of Irish culture.
Which unfortunately is why they became a target for suppression.
Oh, man. I knew this couldn't have been a smooth journey.
So who wanted to silence the pipes and why?
Well, the suppression of Irish bagpipes has a long and complicated history.
Okay.
It begins as early as 1366, when King Richard II banned them under the Statute of Kilkenny.
Wait a ban.
What was the big idea there?
Were they worried about people getting a little too enthusiastic about a jig?
It wasn't about the music itself, but what the bagpipes symbolized.
They represented Irish identity,
Okay.
a rallying cry for resistance against English rule.
Oh.
And that, as you can imagine, was deemed a threat.
So the bagpipes were more than just an instrument.
They were a symbol of defiance.
Precisely. And this wasn't a one-time thing.
The ban was reinforced again and again by rulers like Queen Elizabeth I and Cromwell,
Wow.
highlighting just how potent a symbol the bagpipes had become.
It's almost like trying to ban a feeling, isn't it?
Right.
You can't legislate away cultural identity.
Exactly. And that's what makes the story of the Irish war pipes so inspiring.
Yeah.
Despite those attempts to silence them, they endured.
Okay, so fast forward to the present day.
Where do Irish bagpipes fit into Irish culture now?
Are we talking museum exhibits? Or something more, like...
Oh, definitely lively. We're talking about a living, breathing tradition.
Okay.
One of the articles we have here focuses on Fleadchill Niherian.
Okay.
Think of it as Ireland's biggest, most vibrant traditional music festival.
Wow.
And guess what takes center stage?
Let me guess. Definitely not a harp competition, right?
You got it. The Irish war pipes are a huge part of the festival. Cool. And we're not talking about a polite little performance in the corner either.
This is a serious competition with some big names in the warpipe world vying for the top spot.
Wow.
The article even mentions some past winners, Rory Summers in '83, David Stone in 2010.
Okay.
It's amazing to see how this tradition continues to thrive.
From ancient kings and fairy hills to the energy of a modern music festival. What a journey.
Right.
It makes you wonder, what is it about these instruments, about their sound, that speaks to people so powerfully across centuries?
It's a great question. Think about it. These were instruments played at both gatherings and funerals.
Instruments so intertwined with Irish identity that they were seen as a threat to power structures. Instruments that almost disappeared entirely. Wow. And yet here they are, captivating audiences centuries later.
It's true.
It's a testament to the resilience of culture, isn't it?
It really is. It tells you something about the spirit of the people, when you say. The fact that these bagpipes have persisted for so long, despite attempts to silence them, speaks to their profound cultural significance.
Right.
They're more than just an instrument.
They embody the spirit of resistance, the refusal to be silenced.
You know what makes you think about that story we started with? The piper on the Titanic.
Right.
Talk about a powerful image of Irish culture enduring even in the face of tragedy.
Eugene Patrick Daly.
His story is a perfect example of how the Irish war pipes transcended geographical borders, becoming a symbol of Irish identity worldwide.
Wow.
Remember those articles about Irish bagpipes being present in military settings?
Yeah.
It wasn't just about Irish armies. We're talking about Irish pipers serving in regiments all over Europe.
Right.
France, Spain, even the British Army.
Hold on. Irish pipers in the British Army.
That seems a bit ironic given the whole history of the English trying to suppress the instrument.
It might seem ironic at first glance.
Right.
But if you think about it, it speaks to the complex relationship between culture and power.
Even when Irish identity was being actively suppressed, Irish culture, through music tradition and stories, found a way to endure, often in unexpected places.
It's like this invisible thread woven through history, connecting seemingly unrelated moments. A piper on a sinking ship, a king listening to music from the fairy hills, a music festival bringing people together centuries later.
And at the heart of it all is the instrument itself, the Irish war pipes, and the stories they carry.
It really makes you realize how much history we walk around carrying with us often without even realizing it. I mean, I thought I knew a thing or two about bagpipes, but this deep dive has been eye-opening, to say the least.
That's the beauty of digging deeper, right? We uncover these connections, these hidden layers that tell a richer, more nuanced story.
Speaking of hidden layers, one thing that really stood out to me was how the Irish war pipes showed up in all these different aspects of life, not just battles and festivals,
Right.
but funerals, weddings, even sporting events. You wouldn't think an instrument that powerful could be so adaptable.
It begs the question, doesn't it? What was it about the sound of the war pipes that resonated in such diverse contexts?
Right.
How could a single instrument evoke both sorrow and celebration, mourning and military might?
You wouldn't associate this sound with a gentle instrument like a harp, would you?
Right.
There's something so raw, so visceral about it.
Exactly. It's a sound that demands attention, a sound that can stir something deep within us, whether it's grief, excitement, or even a sense of defiance. And with a history rooted in resistance, it's no surprise that sense of defiance is baked right into the sound.
It's true. Imagine that haunting drone echoing across misty moors. It sends shivers down your spine. But it's more than just volume, isn't it? There's something about the tone, the way the notes seem to hang in the air.
You're spot on. It's that haunting, almost mournful drone that gives the war pipes their unique character. It speaks to something ancient, something primal. I think that's why, despite attempts to suppress them, the war pipes have endured. They tap into something universal, something that transcends language and even time itself.
It's almost as if the music itself carries the weight of history, wouldn't you say? All those stories, all that struggle and resilience, it's all there in the sound.
Beautifully put. And it makes you wonder, what will the Irish war pipes come to represent in the future? Their story is still being written, and it's a testament to the enduring power of music and culture.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've uncovered a whole lot more than we bargained for in this deep dive.
Right.
From ancient origins and fairy hills to political suppression and musical revivals, who knew the Irish war pipes had such a wild ride?
It's been a fascinating journey, wouldn't you say? And I hope it's inspired you to listen a little differently the next time you hear the sound of bagpipes wherever you are in the world.
I know I will. And for our listeners, if you're as captivated by the story of the Irish war pipes as we are, we encourage you to do some exploring of your own. Dive into the history of your own heritage, your own cultural touchstones. You might be surprised by what you uncover. Until next time, happy listening.